This is the Rising Phoenix Dev, and today I figured we'd take a look at the difference between the Unreal Engine UI and the Unity Engine UI. Now, I'm also going to couple this with the starting up process as well. So let's get started. Alright, so first on the chopping block is Unreal Engine. So the very first thing you got to do is you got to open up Epic Games Launcher. Then it'll sign you in, and depending on your internet speed determines how long it takes. Eventually, there we go. Then you click on Launch Unity Engine. We can now minus that down. As you can see, it's initializing. It takes forever. It's C++. It's compiling shit. Which is ironic because C++ is a lot faster than most of the languages. Alright, so as you can see, I just have a testing project. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a brand new project. It's going to be a blank project, nothing in it, for desktop or console, maximum quality, no starter kit. And we're going to call this UI Unreal Engine. And now we just got to wait for Unreal to load. Initializing once again. And I'm pretty sure if I had more RAM in this system, it would load even faster. And if I also installed it in my SSD. Alright, there we go. So this is what a blank project in Unreal looks like. Which essentially just gives you a floor mesh, gives you your player start, which is also your main camera, gives you a sphere reflection capture, gives you a skylight, light source, and atmospheric fog. Everything else you got to do by yourself. Now if we click run, we can already see that we have a camera. Let's go ahead and stop that. Now I went ahead and reorganized the UI to kind of fit more with how it works in Unity. So on the left hand side, I have the objects that I can place in, and on the right hand side is the objects that are currently in screen. So this would be my hierarchy. This would be details pane, kind of like what you would see in Unity. So right here, on file, we have new level, open level, save current as, save all levels, open asset, so it summons an asset picker, save all, choose files to save, connect to source control, and then project, new project, open project, new C++ class, package project, Android HTML5, iOS, Linux, tvOS, Windows, 32 and 64-bit zip-up project, build configuration, packaging settings, supported platforms, cook content for Windows, cook your game content for debugging on the Windows platform, actors, importing the level, which supports FBX and T3D, export all, so exports the entire level to a file on disk, recent projects, exit. So let's go ahead and take a look at package project. And we want to look at packaging settings. So this is how you would pretty much build for your game. In project, if project has code or running locally, built-in editor, I'm going to select, yeah. Build configuration, development client, shipping client, staging directory, so where to save it, full rebuild, for distribution, include debug files, packaging, pack file, generate chunks, generate no chunks, chunk hard references only, build HTTP chunk install data, HTTP chunk install data directory, data version, share material shader code, blueprints, blueprint nativization method, which you have inclusive, exclusive, and disabled. Prerequisites include prerequisites installer, include app local prerequisites, prerequisites. English, do you speak it, motherfucker? No! Prerequisites. App local prerequisite. Every time. Prerequisite directory. Alright, so that's what we got for build. Then we can export these settings to a file, import settings, and that's pretty much it for there. Then of course we have Asset Manager. Now what if we want to connect to the marketplace and get assets imported in? Well, we can see it's not in File. In Edit, we have Undo, Edit, Build, Undo History, Redo, Cut, Copy, Paste, Duplicate, Delete, Editor Preferences, Project Settings, Plugins. Nope. Windows, Details, Viewports, Hierarchical LOD Outliner, Layers, Levels, Mode, Sequence Recorder, Sequencer, Statistics, Toolbar, nope. Content Browser, Development Tools, Find Blueprints, Project Launcher, Localization Dashboard, Reset Layout, Save Layout, Enable Full Screen, Help, Documentation, API Reference Console Variables, Viewport Controls, Tutorial Support, Forums, Answer Hub, Wiki, UnrealEngine.com, Credits, About, Unreal Editor. And here in the toolbar, Save Content, Source Control, Content, Marketplace, Settings, Blueprints, Cinematics, Build, Play, Launch. So we can click on Marketplace. Now let's see what happens. Oh, you have to pull back up the Epic Games Launcher to see the Marketplace. Alright. Now is there a way to see something that's free? Featured, category, sort by, filter, free, confirm. Let's see what's free. Nothing. Filter, search by, free, confirm. No free 2D content. What about animations? Free, confirm. No content. So good luck if you just want to try and use free assets in the marketplace. You're going to have to actually buy those assets unless you build your own. Alright, so as we can see, when it comes to moving inside of Unreal, it's basically the same thing. You right click to go left and right. You use scroll wheel to scroll in and out. You can left click and go forward, back, left, right. All works pretty much the same as in Unity. So here we can import different things into the scene. We have an empty actor. Actor is a base class for an object. Empty character. Have mesh, collision, and built-in movement logic. Empty pawn, point light, player start, cube. So we can just drag that in. Pop that right there. You can do the same thing with the sphere. Box trigger, sphere trigger. Let's also drag in an empty character. There. Lighting needs to be rebuilt. So here, since we have the character selected, We have the transform, location, rotation, scale, mobility, animation mode, animation blueprint, animation class, none, animation rate, mesh, skeletal mesh, none. So since we don't have anything imported into the project, we can't really do anything with that. Cloth simulation is just a click away. Physics, linear damping, angular damping, enable gravity, constraints, capsule components, simulate physics, linear damping, mesh, physics transform update mode, simulation, or component transform is kinematic. Ignore radial impulse, radial force, apply impulse on damage. Then, of course, this is all about the mesh. Capsule component, auto wield. So as you can see, pretty much everything is set up as either a Boolean or a physical value that you can select from. Alright, let's click on the cube. So, first things first. Collision presets, it looks like. Yeah. Use CCD. Always create physics state. Multi-body overlap. Check async scene on move. Trace complex on move. Crap baskets. Return material on move. Can never affect navigation. Lighting. Distance field. Dynamic shadow. Everything dealing with. And then there's rendering. Texture streaming, LOD, override materials, tags, cooking, actor, HLOD, which is high level of detail, mobile, and navigation. What about floor? Pretty much the same thing it looks like. Yep. Now, let's take a look at sphere reflection capture. Pretty much the same thing, only influence radius, reflection source. So you can go from captured scene or specified cube map, and then you can specify a cube map. Alright, what about the light source? So you have a light color, use temperature, volumetric scattering intensity, cast modulated shadows. So pretty much the standard stuff when it comes to light function. Note, only non-light map lights use direct light map equals false to have a light function. So we can just play this, take a look. There's our ball, there's our cube. Alright, so that's pretty much the basic editor in Unreal. We have view options here. Not really too much different between the two. Between Unreal and Unity, I should say. But Unreal does give you a little bit more control, and you'll see what I mean by that. So, now that we've finished with Unreal, I should note that I do have the FPS setting turned on. And as you can see, it tells me the constant FPS that's running, and how much memory it takes up, and how many objects are in the scene. So that's about a gig worth of memory being taken up by Unreal. With that being said, let's go ahead and stop and take a look at Unity 3D. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up Unity. You see I have some projects here. I'm going to create a new one. And I'm going to call this project UI Unity Engine. And then let's load it up. There we go. Calculating, 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 loading, loading, loading. Alright, there we go. So with Unity, you get a blank game screen, nothing in the assets folder, you get your main camera, and you get a directional light. That's all you get when it comes to Unity. The inspector is empty. Turn off maximize on play. When you click play, there is nothing you can do whatsoever. Click on scene, you right click to be able to turn and look around. When you left click, it allows you to multi-select items. Scroll wheel lets you scroll in and out, and there's also the Alt key hotkey with your mouse that you can scroll in and out faster. Unity also has the preset of the asset store right there in the window, which of course lets you load up the asset store and let's say we want, I don't know, a random 3D model. Click free only. You have a lot to choose from that's free. How about animation? Free only. We have animations. What about audio, of all things? Free audio. Complete projects. Well, there's even some free projects here. Some even from Unity themselves. Let's see. How about editor extensions? Yeah, there's some free editor extensions. Particle systems. Free. Scripting. There's free those two. Services. Free services to attach to your game. Shaders. They give you free shaders. Textures and materials. Why, there's even free textures and materials to use. And Unity Essentials. Standard assets. Yeah, so there is a lot you can get for free. Now, let's take a look at the toolbar at the top. We have File, New Scene, Open Scene, Save Scene as, New Project, Open Project, Save Project, Build Settings, Build and Run, Exit. So let's look at Build Settings. You have to add a scene to build. You can select the platform you want to build to. PC, Android, WebGL, iOS, tvOS, Xbox One, you have to get the module. PS Vita, you have to get the license for the Vita. PS4, same thing. Universal Windows, you have to install the module. And Facebook, also have to have the module. PC, Mac, and Linux standalone. So in order to build for Mac, you obviously have to use a Mac computer with Unity on it to build for it. So you can select the target platform, the architecture, copy PDD files, development build, compression method, then you select build or build and run. But they also have something else called player settings, which is optional, where you can set the resolution and presentation. You can set your icons, your splash image. Other settings include rendering, so if you want the color space to be gamma or linear. If you want the auto graphics API for Windows, Mac, or Linux, color gamut for Mac, static batching, dynamic batching, GPU skinning, which is DirectX 11, ES3, GPU skinning, graphics jobs experimental, light mapping encoding, high quality, normal quality. You can set your Mac App Store settings, so the name, version, build, category, and select to have validation or not. Configuration, scripting runtime version, so it allows you to choose between the stable .NET 3.5 or the experimental .NET 4.6, aka C# 6. API compatibility, .NET 2.0 or the 2.0 subset. And then you can also do some scripting define symbols. Active input handling, input manager, input system preview, or both. Optimization, pre-baked collision meshes, keep loaded shaders alive, preloaded assets, it's an array, or list in this case. Vertex compression, optimize mesh data, logging. You can select whether you want none, script only, or full. So log type, error, assert, warning, log, exception. Finally, XR settings or mixed reality. Virtual reality supported, Vuforia augmented reality supported. You can see we have global and local space. So this handles rotation. Center, toggle tool, handle position, center or pivot. So we're in scene. Local and global space. Then we have move, rotate, or scale selected objects. So you could select this and you can move it, scale it. Then we have rectangle tool, the scale tool, rotate tool, so we can select our object, rotate it. Whee! We have the move tool. I'm just going to reset this back to 0. And of course the hand tool, which allows us just to move ourselves within world space, which is the default. Okay, so we have edit. Since we've finished the file, edit, undo, inspector, redo, cut, copy, paste, duplicate, delete, frame selected, lock view to selected, find, select all, preferences, modules, play, pause, step, sign in, sign out, selection, so quick saves, project settings, input tags, audio, time, player, physics, physics 2D, quality, graphics, network, editor, script execution order, graphics emulation, no emulation, shader model 4, 3, 2, shader hardware tier 1, 2, and 3, network emulation, none, broadband, DSL, ISDN, or dial-up. Oh yeah, snap settings. So snap settings, move X, move Y, move Z, scale, rotation. So let's see what happens. Snap all axes. I do believe you have to have something selected for that. Okay, assets, create, folder, script, shader, testing, playables, assembly, definition. So if we click on that, new assembly. So we can exclude platforms. Where was I? Scene, prefab, audio mixer, material, lens flare, render texture, light map parameters, custom render texture, sprite atlas sprites, square, triangle, diamond, hexagon, circle, polygon, tile, animation controller, animation override controller, avatar mask timeline, physics material 2D, GUI skin, custom font, legacy, cube map, Unity script deprecated, UI elements view. So we can actually create a custom GUI skin for our games. Next up, Show in Explorer. So click on that, it will show you exactly where you saved your folder. Import new asset, import new package, and then it gives you access to the default ones. Export, select dependencies, refresh, re-import all, extract from prefab, open C# project. Game object, create empty child, 3D objects, cube, sphere, capsule, cylinder, plane, quad, ragdoll, terrain, tree, wind zone, 3D text, 2D object, sprite, tile map, sprite mask, effects, particle system, trail, line, light, directional point, spotlight, area, reflection probe, light probe group, audio source, audio reverb zone, video player, UI, text, image, raw image, button, toggle, slider, scroll bar, drop down, input field, canvas, panel, scroll view, event system, viewforia, AR camera, image, multi-image, cylindrical image, cloud provider, cloud image target, model target, 3D scan, view mark, ground plane stage, plane finder, mid-air positioner, mid-air stage, and camera. And then others that you don't get to select. Component, which is every component that's available to you in Unity, a mesh filter, text mesh render, skin mesh render, effect, particle system, trail render, line render, lens flare, halo projector, legacy particles, epsiloid, particle emitter, mesh particle emitter, particle animator, world particle collider, particle renderer, physics, rigid body, so on and so forth, physics 2D, rigid body, so on and so forth, navigation, nav mesh agent, off mesh link, nav mesh obstacle, audio, video, rendering, camera, skybox, layer, GUI layer, light probe group, so on and so forth. Tile map, layout, playables, AR, miscellaneous, analytics, scripts, event, network, XR, UI. Finally, we have, or not finally quite yet, we have next window, previous window, layouts, 2x3, so you can easily switch between layouts, Viewforia configuration, services, scene, game, inspector, hierarchy, project, animation, profiler, audio mixer, audio store, animator parameter, sprite packer, experimental, look dev, holographic emulation, tile palette, test runner, timeline, lighting, settings, light explorer, occlusion, culling, frame debugger, navigation, physics debugger console, and finally help. About Unity, manage license, Unity manual, scripting reference, Unity services, forum, answers, Unity feedback, check for updates, download beta, release notes, software licenses, report a bug, Viewforia, Mars sample documentation, release notes, and troubleshoot issue. So, the main difference that we can automatically see right off the bat is Unity only provides you with the base camera and directional light. That's all you get when you start a brand new empty project with nothing added. But Unity gives you the sphere reflection cube, it gives you your skylight, atmospheric fog, your light source, a movable player, and your ground. So you can immediately see how things look. right from the get-go with Unreal. With Unity, it's just like, here's a blank screen for you, jackass. Figure it out. But don't get me wrong, I love Unity, and I will continue to make tutorials on it. And if you like my content and you would love for me to do Unreal tutorials, please let me know. This is the Rising Phoenix Dev, signing out.